working for you, and I promise you, when you give your body the right raw material, it will do wonders for you, because I know how the body works. I know how it's turning over, it's flipping over, it's changing, it's dynamic. It's very dynamic. So if you give your body 21 days, if you just decide, I'm going to give my body 21 days, I'm going to do these fat-burning foods, I'm going to try this bone broth, do the intermittent fasting, don't do the intermittent fasting, it's up to you. If you just threw 2 cups of bone broth in your diet every day without doing the fasting, it'd be wonderful. You get a lot of benefits, but that's why I chose 21 days. So I always tell my patients that, you know, this bone broth stuff, it's actually liquid gold. I call it liquid gold. It's got gelatin. We're going to dial this down. Gelatin, glycine, glucosamine, chondroitin, and all these other healing nutrients. I challenge you to show me how many foods that are so stinking easy and so good that are going to provide you with the same stuff this does. Right? I'm telling you, I've seen it all, I promise you. It doesn't exist. I call bone broth my one thing, because what do we need to do again? We need to make sure the gut's healed. We need to make sure there's no inflammation in our body. We need to make sure we're these natural fat burners. Isn't it something else that one simple natural food does that? It can do that for you. Gelatin. This is huge. I know we've all been familiarized in some way with gelatin at this point. But I want to take you through this because it's just that good. So, we always used to have foods with gelatin in our diet all throughout history. They were used in hospitals because gelatin is thought to open the intestines for healing. Right? So we have used this throughout history. Unfortunately, we got away. I did not invent bone broth by any stretch of the imagination. I am only telling you that what I found with this broth is incredible. What I've seen it work with patients, young, old, male, female, sick, not sick. Everybody becomes expansive with bone broth. So what did they know that we didn't know? Why was it all throughout history? Well, it helps strengthen your gut like nothing I've ever seen. So if you get a sunburn and you've got that red irritation and you want to calm that irritation, you put aloe on that burn and it soothes it. It heals it. You feel better. Guess what? That's exactly what gelatin does for your intestines. So picture that again. At 25 feet, that long, narrow tube, you've got to eat foods that cleanse you and not clog you, because that's a long runway. It's a long runway. And remember what I talked to you about, all of those organisms. You've got 100 trillion organisms in your body. We're bags of bugs. We are literally walking bags of bugs. We've got to care for them. And I'm telling you now that I have found something that does the housekeeping for you. Does the housekeeping. So it makes your skin more elastic. So a lot of you in here are pretty young, and you probably aren't listening to what I'm saying. Someday you'll care. Someday you'll remember what I'm saying. But so your skin is like a bouncy ball, right? And over time, this ball deflates. And so here's another problem with a lot of the mainstream diets that we see out there. Guess what it does? It pulls nutrients. It pulls water. It pulls healthy fats. It pulls it out of your cells. So you're looking real skinny, right? But your skin looks like crap. Have you seen that? That's what happens. Guess what bone broth does? It plumps it up. It nutrifies these cells. It provides all these nutrients. So you're getting slimmer and your skin's looking better. It's incredible. So it also helps your skin against sun damage. It does a lot against sun damage. So gelatin is rich in glycine and very low in methionine. So research indicates that high glycemic diet lengthens the lifespan. Lengthens your lifespan. And you can ask me more about this. This can get a little scientific, but needless to say, there's more and more proof coming out that bone broth can even increase lifespan. So I love glycine. It's a very powerful powerful amino acid. I love it. So it does so much for inflammation. You can read this slide. You can take a picture of it if you want. I'm not going to go through all of it. But needless to say, it's one of the best gut healing amino acids, and it calms inflammation. It modulates your immune system. You know why? How does it modulate your immune system? You've got something called Peyer's patches in your gut. Guess what? Your immune system is here. This is where a lot of your immune system is. Everything rises and falls on your immune system. You'll find that. Everything rises and falls on your immune system. So you need to take care of your immune system. And the glycine will really help with that. It also helps type 2 diabetes by lessening the damage. There's so much. Because if you think about it, that long tube, when it gets red, when it gets irritated, when it gets inflamed, becomes damaged, this is when all of that crazy stuff that we hear about, leaky gut, all of that, that's when that happens, because what happens is your body becomes confused. All of these autoimmune problems, these autoimmune symptomologies that we're seeing, all that is inflammation creating confusion in your body. Your body no longer knowing how to react and respond to that. So glycine plays a key role in detoxification, and it enhances insulin sensitivity. This is important. We talked about that natural fat burning stuff, but you want your body to be as sensitive as possible to insulin. It's very important that your body keys into insulin and knows how to react and respond to it. All the pre-diabetic stages that we have of disease and so forth, this is critical. And glycine really helps. It helps us with human growth hormone and human growth hormone. If you're not familiar with it, this is like the treasure trove of anti-aging and strength. It's the treasure trove. Human growth hormone, you want that. That's why you've got to lift weights. That's why you've got to do that type of exercise. You want that human growth hormone. It's really important. And glycine helps you sleep better. And that's really critical for a lot of people. So glucosamine and chondroitin. These are natural forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. And there's all this research, does it work, does it not work, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you this much. I am your proof. Because what I hear in clinic is my joints hurt. Why does that happen? It happens, we have a lot of people that come in that were athletes and all kinds of reasons, but the most causation of joint pain is because it's one of the #1 signs of inflammation. It's one of the #1 signs. So if you've got joint pain, key in on that. Go get a CRP, go get a C-reactive protein. You can see it for yourself. It's a non-invasive test, it's a blood test, inexpensive. It'll tell you if you have that hidden inflammation, but the signs and symptomologies that you are having, your body will tell you anyway. So it's really amazing. It stimulates hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is very good for joint pain, and also, this is another thing that plumps that skin up. You know all those expensive creams that are out there on the market? Well, isn't it cool that you can get this naturally instead? You can get this naturally. So there's all kinds of studies out, and there's one study that shows, I kid you not, that glucosamine and chondroitin are as effective as the prescription drug Celebrex. I didn't say it, the science did. Why not try this first? Why not use this? Powerful, it's effective, it's natural. Wait, there's more. Bone broth also contains proline, which protects you against oxidative stress. What is this? Oxidative stress is cellular damage. Okay? Your cells, you don't want your cells to collide together. You want to create an environment, because we are an ecosystem. We are an ecosystem. Never forget that. You want your cells to be flowing like a river, not like a swamp. You don't want them to collide. You don't want them to be clumped. Bone broth hydrates you. It prevents this. This is essential. Oxidative stress, you don't want. That's precancerous. That's saying, I'm training my body for cancer. I'm training my body for cancer. You want to train your body for effervescence, for health, for longevity. Arginine, important in wound healing. It's in there. Glutamine. I love glutamine. It's a powerful gut healer. Hyaluronic acid, shown in a 2015 study to reduce pain in knee osteoarthritis, and it really hydrates the skin. Marrow. Marrow is like, wow. I can talk to you all day about marrow. And when I first started going to some of the restaurants that would serve marrow, no one would go to dinner with me. They thought it was crazy town. And now more and more restaurants, I just spent a long time in LA, and so many of the restaurants there are now carrying bone marrow. It's so upbuilding to your blood. Do you feel weak? Feel tired? Do you know people, I'm getting stuck on something here. Do you know people who are tired, or people who are pregnant, or people who just had children? This builds the blood. It's an incredible, incredible treasure trove again that we have. So my 1-2 punch. You gotta have a 1-2 punch. I've got one. Paleo foods plus the bone broth. You can get the benefits of all the fasting. You hear a lot about fasting, and we hear it as depletion. We hear it as doing without. But what if I told you, you can get all of the benefits? Don't think, oh, well, I don't know. If you're really eating, if you're drinking this stuff, are you really fasting? That's a critical question, right? You are, because you get the same results. I've tested it out. I've tested it all out. So you beef up BDNF. This is a type of, this is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And this is a type of protein that helps improve insulin sensitivity. If you just did that, if you just improved your insulin sensitivity, do you know how good you'd feel? As good as you think you feel now. If you increase that, you feel you wake up every day and you're on. It's not every 3 days, every 5 days. I mean, you're on all the time. It's amazing. It optimizes your hormones. I love bone broth and what it does for your hormones. And it cleanses out your kidneys, so your adrenal function improves. We need our adrenals to really work for us. So many of us are crashed. Our adrenals are crashed. What a natural, wonderful way to build your adrenals through bone broth. It helps your body burn existing fat. It cleans up your cells. This is important. We all know someone with cancer or someone who's ill. It's really important.